Hello, hello. Good morning. How is everybody? I've got my glasses on, so I can't really see comments or anything. A little bit out of breath. We just kind of run up the hill um, to get set up because we're over there sitting there marking for a driveway up here that's not near as long. And what that entails is we're putting markings for the house, right? I know we talked about that last week, but good morning. Let me recompose myself. But here, why I'm out of breath is because we're setting the markings, for the house and everything. So, Johnny was like, "Let's get the driveway set." Hi, Sandra. All is good. So he's like, "Let's set the driveway." So it's um, with ideas of future things that might happen. And have it closer, so different options. The first driveway to get up here is a little bit longer, so we've been working this morning, got up early. Hi, DT. um so yeah, we've kind of been starting our day, which is nice compared to uh, last weekend. I think we got started a little bit later, but time flies when you're having fun and you just get lost track of time. So getting out here last week was a little different. So run up the hill to get here on time. uh, but just wanted to say, so this is of course new to me, and so I'll keep it either short, sweet, go, I may have something to talk about, may not, if you guys say something, I'll try to, shout out or respond. Thanks for all the comments even after the video's over. So, as I kind of learn different things, I may talk about different things, interests. I can talk about interests about me. Um, but yeah, I like to run, so wasn't too far out of breath. We did have to go uphill, and Johnny was laughing at me, asking me if I was out of breath. And I was like, no, not really. Just gotta regulate that breathing. So, um, and then only had a quick jaunt to get up here. But I know last week on our way up, it it's skunk mating season through right now, and all I could smell was skunks on the way up here. I was going to tell you guys how bad that was. um, he's from Colorado, so I teased him. I said, hey, that's probably a smell that's familiar to you. But it was so strong. He got his dog's rabies vaccines, because I know we had talked about that when we had gotten out here, and I was like, you're gonna have to get your dogs vaccinated for rabies, because they're you got all kinds of animals out here that will carry them, the raccoons, the skunks, and if they're out there, um, I think somebody said something about armadillos. I don't know, I've never heard of that, but it could be. But I just know skunks and raccoons do that. And he's like, oh no, we'll be good. Well, his vet got a hold of him and said, in Arkansas, you do have to have them administered by a vet. That way, if for some reason, worst case scenario, the dog bites somebody, they have proof that they're vaccinated, and you don't have to put them down to determine whether that dog had rabies or not. So that was really prevalent last week when all the skunks were out spraying. Even in my neighborhood, it makes me worry about them coming up under the house and spraying and stuff. But it's beautiful today. 59 is supposed to be our high. Woke up this morning and the shadow had frost on all the grass where the sun hadn't hit it yet this morning. So that is going to be nice. We sprayed down with epinephrine, which is he had talked about that in one of his videos. So hopefully it doesn't have any kind of skin reaction, because I've got some on my hands. Don't want to come over here having an allergic reaction to that. But um, we haven't got the garden area set out yet, because we've worked on just property lines. Um, he's including me in on that, which I told him, hey, that's a big commitment. A garden is a commitment, because you're going to be watering it and pulling plants and all that goes into that, and then planning house layout. It's like whether I stay with you or we, continue this, which I really do care about him. So only the future knows. But uh, I know before I started dating him, I'm like, okay, I'm in my routine. This is kind of getting boring. So it's nice that he came along and we get to know each other. But we've been having fun. Time does fly. We stayed up till like 2 o'clock in the morning chit chatting, and then turn around and get up about 7:30. So yes, he's got some guineas down at the front of the property, but is going to get more because there's, of course, a lot of acreage. But there's probably about 10, I think, that I counted just off the head, and they're all at the front. So he's going to look at getting more. I'll have to help keep an eye on. A lot of it's fast. So, anything that I know, any resources, I'll hit him up and say, hey, there's roosters or whatever over here. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't think he would be boring at all. He's on his toes. Donnie's not boring for sure. Um, I'm kind of the cool, calm, collective person, and I can sit there and be quiet and not have anything to say. Doesn't mean I'm mad, just means I'm content and don't have anything to say. So I told him, I was like, if you're okay with that, he's a total opposite of me. I can sit there and be quiet for hours and just have, nothing to say. And that's why, like, I'm going to try to keep my videos either short or long, depends on what I talk about, because nobody wants to watch somebody going, yeah. So, my topics, of course, of that going. His sunburn that he got was not really a sunburn. So I know he had went out and was working the other day and just had been out in the sun all day. And he told you guys that because he had smacked me. I had went to the tanning bed because I like to get a warm coat before spring comes on in summer, because as soon as the sun's out, I've got actually a tank, so if it gets hot enough out here, I can get my arms recolored, because I like to stay tan, because I have white chicken legs. It's not not pretty. So anyways, I had tan to get a good coat on, and was flaking because I stayed in longer than I should have. And then Johnny had come over probably 4 days after that, and I was red. So I didn't tell him what I had done, but he already knew, and he would not leave, yeah, from smacking my butt or poking me on the arm. I'm like, come on. But then it started flaking, which was funny because he would get a mouthful of flakes if he kissed my shoulder or something. And so Friday he went and got burnt, um, and is already tan. Yeah. And yeah, I didn't even get a chance to smack him. So I'm going to have to get him different ways as far as that goes. Um, but yeah, he didn't. He got brown, and I'll get brown. But I had to get my first base coat on. Probably won't do that until I only do that during the winter because I'm not really a fan of tanning beds. But sometimes you get blah, as ladies do, and but living out here, there's like no neighbors, so you can easily be outside, see nothing. I don't have to worry about going to a tanning bed. And be able to be out here in shorts and get burnt that way. So, far as, but yeah, that's what I did on that. But yeah, like I said. Oh, and we have a video this afternoon that we're gonna do around 4. It's a live video. Johnny's on his way up with the side by side here in just a minute, but we're gonna talk about animals that were born and stuff. So we got some new babies. Maybe taking some clips to be able to see those. Goats, I did not realize, are dumb mamas. So whenever the snowstorm was going on a couple weeks ago, um, there was 2 of them born, and the mom walked away from them, and the Zorse was over there like pawing at them. So I'm over there shooing her off, and finally whenever we were corralling the goats to put them in a pen and separate them, because they had dropped before we had got there. So we were separating all the animals to get the goats to where they could bed by themselves with her kids. And then the other mama coming in and having hers because they both just kind of filled up right overnight. So when we checked them that morning, but they're I did not realize they were not good mamas. So when we come up today, but they're doing good. Those two that were born they're brown and white and a black and white boy and girl. So they're doing good. Mom finally kicked in and started butting the other animals after we let them back out with the other animals. But then a couple more were born, and watching them, I'm just like, oh my gosh, they're they're pitiful. They had a couple last night and the day before, so yeah, I didn't realize goat moms were stupid. um, but let me think of what else I was going to talk about. Um, the hiking opportunities up here. There's so much to do. So, like, I'll have to take him and we'll have to go hiking more because I think he was teasing me because I was out of breath trying to get up here. Wasn't, was just trying to get back to hurrying up because I think we looked at the time, it was 3 minutes till because we were marking a different drive. And so I like the opportunity out here where it's got a lot of hills. I told him he's going to have to go hiking with me. He's like, well, I've got all this land. Like, okay, whatever. But if for Northwest Arkansas, there's a lot of good trails. If anybody likes hiking with the waterfalls, too, go to alltrails.com and you can find a lot of trails. That's how I found a lot of the trails that we've been on. But so, what time is it? Not talking very long. Um, we've got Johnny. I'm gonna have to. He's got my picture for next week. Let's see. You got a comment? Yes, I'm eager to see when that's going to start because here we are already in the second, fixing to go in the second week of March, and that's what we were talking about on our way up. Is it's going fast, um, but actually yesterday was kind of funny. Yeah, time has been going fast, so plans of getting a garden in and things may be delayed. So I may be starting some at my place while because I've got some a raised not a raised bed garden, but more of a flower pot garden for things that I need that I don't have to worry about going to the store. Tomatoes and maybe some greens. So not anything big. Excuse me, where I'm at because uh, just I'm renting and I don't want to put a lot out there. Maybe a small raised garden, but I don't actually have water outside spigot so I can get water to it. This is I'm going to be the space kebab kind of house. Space kebab. What? I don't know about that. No, he's not gonna. That's what I'm kind of interested in seeing what his ideas are for the types of house. I've told him some of my ideas, but he showed me a layout of one of his old houses that he was gonna build down in Colorado, and it had like really good floor plan. I thought it was nice. It's rectangle type. I'm not sure how many feet by feet, but I just seen the floor plan that he said he paid and told me how much. The alien house. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Dee, because I'm like, what? New to that whole alien comments that he does. Told him I'm like, I'm not, not alien. I'm human. um, yeah. I wonder if he's gonna have like a sunroof because that would be the best way. That's the only thing I could see out of somebody like that. But it looked. He said it was gonna be bricks on the side, so I don't know. We'll see. We haven't gotten into too many details. As far as like what it actually looks like. He's got an idea. I'm just along for the ride. I told him no matter what, this is going to be fun. So we'll see. We'll let you guys see. Will you be planning for a food forest? What do you mean on food forest? Like self sufficient out here? I know as far as garden wise, he was talking about a horticulture gardening, which if we do quite a bit, I do plan on that being big. Of course, we'll want to have, fencing around it so the deer don't get in, the deer and the rabbits. But And then some other things just to be self-sustainable is an idea in mind. Permaculture. Okay. Yeah. Just yeah, to pretty much be self-sufficient. And so that's one thing. Don't laugh, but I've bought my seeds at Walmart. That's shame on me. I know I've had family tell me how to save the seeds from last, but we were looking at seeds at the feed store, and I did not even know that they sold them in such quantities. Um, so maybe we'll get a lot of that, and can, depending on how big it is, because the amount of area we were talking about for a garden was quite large. So I don't mind that. Hopefully, we get started soon. It may be something that kind of gets, hopefully not too delayed. The bigger, because we're having to start everything. There's just trees everywhere you can see. Just pretty much never been habited this area, so it's going to be a startup. So this will be breaking ground and building the beds up. So that progress. Hey, 7X's. There are big deer down in Cersei. And if if we have the garden, it'd be a shame for them to walk up too close. You already have 250 plants, DT. That's awesome. I know I had seen some flower pot seeding starting process, and I'm like, I probably need to get some in if we're going to start something big. Um, but haven't started on that yet. I'm itching to get over there. We're going to be tied up today and some of tomorrow, so I may be hitting them up on my lunch break through the week to get some more seeds. I've got some squash from last year left over, but need to get a few of the other basics. So that's really going to depend on kind of, because we're just kind of just starting. And thank you for the encouragement last week. Um, yes, 7X is Johnny is a boomer. No, you're the boomer. He's the millennial. So we'll see how far that goes. But as far as like getting the seed process started, thank you, DT, on that, because yeah, it's discouraging because there's so much to start on. So I'm just like, okay, small scale. I'll get home and I'll probably have like 7 pots of plants. I don't have near the space that I'd like, but definitely it takes time. So looking forward to that. Um, yeah, and I know we 7X's, we've talked about the deer, so I'm picking out our spot. I found a different area where we had come up in this morning. So there was, on our way up, Johnny's rushing me, and I'm like, hold on, because I'm seeing deer trails and deer poo. So I'm like, huh, trying to mark my spot where I'm gonna have to hunt when he doesn't get to see that. He doesn't eat deer meat, but I will. But I'll shoot my quantity that I need. So yeah, the as far as the gardening, DT, the starting kit, I was at the store and had seen that. And the previous year I had just started them with napkins and kind of like letting them seed out and then put them in to the ground or into my flower pots. So I think I will do that this year, is to where I just get the pods to where you can start the seeding kit, with the seeds that I want to get versus what they sell at the store. Because I got plenty of soil from last year from some of my flowers that didn't make it, because I'm not a house. I like some house plants, but I'm not got that green of the thumb. I think the environment that I'm at in my house may have too much moisture, so it's kind of killed a couple of them. Um, but I do feel like we're kind of late on that one. My garlics that I've got, I'm gonna have to get those in this week. I know that's something I'm gonna do. And a lady that I work with that give those to me, I actually got to talk to her this week. Um, I started work as far as a compost. He has not started a compost yet, but we're holding on. They need all the advice you got. I'll take all the advice. I'm not gonna say that I know the ropes, so it's kind of new on that scale. Um, but I know I'm able to start stuff and it grow as far as the garden part go. But it hasn't started a compost, so there's a lot to talk about. What yesterday we went out to dinner and was our a month of knowing each other, so there's still a lot we got to talk to. Um, and as far as get to know, so it's like mind blowing about how much information we can pour out to each other and what we're gonna do. But funny thing was, yeah, yesterday was the 5th, and he asked me to dinner on the 5th as friends, so we have been seeing each other for a month. Well, and I had him come over either Saturday or Sunday, so either tonight or tomorrow has been officially a month. I told him he's going to have to keep up with dates because I don't do that. 1 month, okay, that's great. Then we'll just go by year. So, um, but yeah, so we haven't got to get a lot of information. We have been talking a lot. So like last night we stayed up till almost 2 o'clock because time does fly whenever you're having fun, and we were just talking about all different things. So we still got a lot of things to talk about, plans. So the videos will be either shorter or longer. I may have more things to talk about. 1 month anniversary, right? It's a milestone. He acts like he didn't remember. Well, he kind of remembered. He said, "Well, I remembered because it was on my memory from when I posted." um, and here he comes with the side by side, so he's gonna make me get to work. Just kidding. Um, but yeah, I'll have more to talk about the more we get to know each other and what the plans are. So, what's up, babe? Oh, he's got many. So 4 o'clock, we're gonna do a live stream. Well, he's gonna plan that, and we'll have clips of some of the things, the progress that's been happening. Do you want to say anything?
No, that's chatting with Carla.
Okay, so this is chatting with Carla. Johnny's not gonna say anything. You can see him. It is hi, Alan. It is a beautiful day. Where the alien's at? You want to see him? He says I can't get him in to say hi because it's chit chatting with Carla. It is a nice hat. Oh, and it was killing him. He wanted to get a shirt because he got burnt the other day, 7, and he had to get a fishing shirt from the sporting section to keep the sun off, but was killing him, and I was making fun of him. I'm like, you can't be out in the woods with a white shirt. There's too many rednecks. You'll get shot. He got it anyways, and he got a white hat to go with it. I was going to get him a darker hat, but got to keep that off his big nose, right? So anyways, check us back out at 4 o'clock, and for the live stream, we'll be back then, and y'all have a good day. We're going to start getting out here and enjoying this beautiful, take advantage of this beautiful day. Bye, y'all.